Okay, y'all, so I'm here. Real Housewives of New York season 13, episode 11. I know that all the news been going on about how low the viewership is and shit like that. But if y'all really want to know how I feel about that, y'all can go to my little rant that I did, because I don't like people trying to blame Ebony for that in particular. And weak ass Megan McCann, you about to not have a job, so we don't even care about what you gotta say, girl. Bye-bye. See you later. We don't care. Bye-bye. Skirt off to the next. And one thing that I did say in that rant that I meant to say that I'm going to say now is their viewership might be dumb low right now. Let's not get it twisted. But what I also want y'all to remember is when Bravo does cast switch ups and stuff like that, they don't do that just because. They do it because the ratings are fucking low. So let me tell you something. Last year, the reason why they brought Leah on was because guess what? The ratings were tanking. Y'all had old ass fucking women on there, and nobody wants to see that all the time. We need a little bit of freshness. So that's why y'all brought Leah. The same reason why y'all removed Dorinda. Y'all all are fucking with the cast to see what works. That's just pretty much what it gets down to. So as far as I'm concerned, the Real Housewives of New York has always been on the downturn as far as viewership is concerned. Now I'm pretty sure if you throw Ebony and her blackity black ass shit, and then these racist ass white people, and then these black people who don't want to care about real life shit, I guess. Okay, yeah, combine all of that together, of course you're gonna have low ratings. And also, if I'm being real, I don't know how much do they take into consideration when people like watch it afterwards. Because see, I never ever watch the Real Housewives of New York when it's actually on. I wait until like the next day, or I wait until like 2 days after, because I normally like record it or something. I normally like record it on my DVR, then I go back and watch it, or I just go on demand and watch it. So I don't know how much that's included in the viewership, because I know for a fact I never watched the Real Housewives when it actually airs. So yeah. So anyway, so we start off. Ramona is pretty much telling Bershawn, because y'all know they had just gone to the argument. Ramona's telling Bershawn that pretty much it's not her place to call Sonya crazy, because you don't know her. So it's not really your place to like be talking about her like that. So then the next morning, Leah calls. I'm not sure who she calls. Maybe Leah calls Lou. She calls somebody. I don't know if it was Lou or Ebony, but she calls one of them two. And she tells them how the previous night, so after everybody went to bed and stuff like that, or went to their rooms, how Bershawn and Sonya was still kind of going back and forth upstairs or whatever. And how Bershawn had ended up like called Sonya a drunk, and it just became like a whole hot ass mess. Sonya was like, don't call me a drunk, and then it was just a whole bunch of hands in people's faces, and Bershawn was like, don't put your hand in my face. Oh, don't put your hands in my face. And then it was like, da, 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 da. It wasn't really like a scuffle like Leah said. It was just like a whole lot of this, and it might have been like a little pushing situation. But then the producers came in. Hold on 1 second. Babe, can you turn it down a tad? I don't understand. Does that mean he can't turn the TV down? I'm lost. Anyway. So, yeah, so production ends up coming in, trying to get in between them. And then, on Sonya's way out, Sonya breaks like the glass for the fire extinguisher and stuff like that. So Leah pretty much was like, I don't think it's smart to call like Sonya an alcoholic, especially when she's drunk, which I would have to agree. Like, that's not, I would have to agree. One of the few times I'm gonna agree with Ramona. Like, and she ended up, and Bershawn said it later, like, you don't know Sonya enough to like be saying all of that. Like, you can feel that on the inside, and you can say that when it's just you and Ramona. You can say that when it's just you and Ebony, but you don't really know her well enough to like call her out on shit like that. Like, that's not your friend. Like, it's kind of like a family type of thing. Like, you know, like Lou, like for instance, I could call my sister a bitch, right? I could call her, I'd be like, that bitch, and I don't mean this, but I'm saying I couldn't call my sister a bitch and say she lazy and bitch, you don't do nothing, da 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 da, right? Not to say that I really believe that. But let some outsider hell say that about her, I'm whooping her ass, because bitch, you don't know her like that to be calling her outside her name, bitch. I know her like that, so I can fucking do that. That's what it is. It's like it's a family type of thing. I swear, I'm so sorry that my boyfriend is so fucking loud, but he's on his game. His game is obviously more important than what the fuck I have to do. It got quiet, didn't it?
You gonna learn one day when the power goes out.
No, he gonna fucking learn one fucking day. It's gonna piss me the fuck off. Anyway, So Leah, cause Leah went to Lou's room, and then Ramona comes in and she tells both of them what happened because they didn't know, they was knocked the fuck out. So they was like, you want to know what? Leah was like, I think we should go and talk to her. I'm so sorry, y'all, cause he's really pissing me off being so fucking loud. It's making me so mad. Like, I really can't wait till we move. I have like 2 weeks until we move, and then y'all will never have to hear him again. Like, my apartment now is just, it's so fucking small that I can just hear him even when he's all the way in the other fucking room. Anyway, so they all said that they're going to talk to Sonya about her drinking, okay? So when everybody goes to dinner, Bershawn gets a little emotional and she apologizes to everybody for how she talked to them. She was like, she's like, I acted like I knew you guys for like 30-something years. Like, that's how me and my friends talk. We say, bitch, you're boring, you're grandma and stuff, but I don't know you guys enough to be able to do that. I agree. And everybody else agreed as well. Sonya said that she was really, really hurt because of, you know, how they had connected and, you know, but she apologized. They end up hugging it out. Not much happened this episode either, because I feel like I'm speeding through the shit because not a lot happened. So then all the girls like go downstairs to like this little lounge or whatever, and Leah says to Sonya and Ramona, they was like, look, she was like, look, the first thing she did when she came down here is she has like a martini or whatever. Like, why is that the first thing that you fucking grab in the minute that we get down here? So they was like, maybe we should talk to her now. And some of them was like, maybe not right now because she do got a drink. And Ramona was like, nah, fuck that shit. Like, she ain't say fuck that shit, but she was like, we gonna do it now. So Sonya is over there with Ebony and Bershawn, and prior to this, Leah had told Ebony like what they were gonna do just in case, you know, so she wasn't thrown off. So Ramona takes Sonya's drink and brings it over, and of course Sonya's like, what? She's like, really? Like, you? She think that I don't peep? It's like, I see you took my drink. Like, what is all of this? So she was already like on guard or whatever. So Ebony was like, no, just go ahead, go see what they want. So Ebony and Bershawn sit down and talk over here while all the other girls is over there. So they pretty much sit her down and, you know, they're like, look, we just wanted to come to you with, you know, really good intentions and tell you that we just, you know, think that you're having a little bit of problem with your drinking. Like, we think it's getting a little bit out of hand. So then Sonya goes straight into denial mode because if y'all seen Intervention, y'all know how this shit's gonna go. Sonya's like, that's not true. I don't drink any other time. The only time I drink is when I'm around y'all. Ramona's like, yeah, okay, bitch. You drink all the fucking time. Cut the shit, Sonya. She was like, I only drink around y'all. I don't drink when I'm by myself. I don't drink when I go out. I don't drink. Okay, well, even if that's the case, Sonya, you overindulge when you are around the girls. You overindulge. How about that? And you don't know how to fucking stop. And you're full of shit because we've seen you literally come to events fucked up. So what do you mean? So I'm a little bit confused. Like the was it the Halloween party that they had last year? And she was fucking tore. I mean, so tore that whole time. And this is what you do, Sonya. You are known as being the drunk girl on the show. Period. You have a problem. I understand that that's hard to hear, and I understand everybody's not going to accept it, but you do have a drinking problem. And to be quite honest, I'm glad that this season that they're actually like talking to her about it, because like I told y'all earlier this season, I no longer want to sit up here and see Sonya act like this. It's actually really, really sad. The woman really needs to go to like AA meetings or something. She really needs help, to be quite honest. So Ramona was like, girl, she in denial, which we all know. And then, you know, she starts getting more defensive, and she was like, Sonya, she was like, Lou, I know you're not talking. You was the one falling down drunk. And Lou was like, I know that, duh, that's why I'm saying something, because girl, I was you. So of course, yeah, I'm not gonna sit up here and deny, yeah, I was a hot ass mess. So that's why I'm trying to tell you, I know one when I see one, because that was me. So Sonya, she was like, well, I don't really like this. I feel like I'm being attacked, which everybody always feel like they're being attacked when an intervention happens. And she was like, I thought that I was safe drinking around you guys, but obviously I can't. Obviously, this is not a safe environment. So it just is what it is. I don't really got time for all this. And I'm like, classic intervention shit. So like Leah said, we tried. Like, all you can do is try. Until Sonya actually wants to get the help, there's not really much that you can do. You can just try to encourage your friend. That's all you can fucking do. So while all of this is going on, Bershawn and Ebony are talking on the side, and they just like, they just think that Sonya's having a hard time, and because she's trying to find her voice. And I do think amongst the women, specifically Lou and Ramona, that Sonya doesn't really have a voice. I feel like they shut out a lot of what she says, and I feel like part of that is because of the fact that Sonya is always like intoxicated a lot of times. So for them, it's easy, I feel like, to just kind of like brush off like, oh yeah, that's Sonya, like, oh, whatever. But whatever, they care about her. So then it's time to go to the seance. I ain't never been to a seance. My God said don't touch those type of things. But okay. So yeah, we about pretty much at the end of the episode, y'all here. So they went to the seance. We learned a few things about everybody. Let me see. The guy said that Bershawn needs to come out of her shell a little bit more. Then the guy also said that Lou was like, this man was completely off because he was like, do you have like a uncle, relative, or older person that's kind of like a father figure? She was like, no. And she was in confession. She was like, this man is all the way off because I don't know who the fuck you talk about. So then when we got to the lady though, she started making a little bit more sense to everybody else. I guess, I be feeling like production be given. Cause why all of these Real Housewives always gotta have like a medium or something like that come? I be feeling like the production be feeding them information, but that's just my opinion. The whatever the medium, whoever the hell she is, said that talked about Leah converting to Judaism and said how she would like that. She said as far as Ebony, she saw her grandma standing behind her, and Ebony got real emotional about that, and told her that she needs to like go forward with what she's doing as far as women's rights and stuff like that. When it comes to Sonia, she says that she sees her father, and that we learned that Sonia's father at one point in time was alcoholic. Now, all of the girls, including Ramona and Lou, said that Sonia never talks about her father, so they don't know anything about it because she doesn't talk about it. So Lou brought up a good point. She was like, well, maybe, like my father was an alcoholic too. Like maybe that makes sense, Sonia. Like your dad was an alcoholic too. That's just, traits and stuff being passed down. Like, you know what I mean? So that gave them a lot of eye-opening thing. And then, Sonia talks about how her dad wasn't around, and we learned a little bit more about that. And then we get to Ramona, and we learned that Ramona had a younger brother who had like a lot of issues, like emotionally. He wasn't really the happiest, and he died. And I don't know if he killed himself. I'm not sure exactly how he died, but he did die. And, Ramona talks about how she felt pretty guilty because, she was trying to get him a lot of help. But then at some point in time, she just cut him off. And then after she cut him off, not too much longer later, he passed away. But look, everybody said, Ramona, that's not your fault. Similar to Sonia, you can only help people that want to be helped. It's just that simple. Episodes like this is why The Real Housewives of New York has low viewership. It ain't because of Ebony. It's because of episodes like this. I feel bad for everybody. I know Sonia needs help. And take away the seance about the important parts. This shit was boring. It was boring as fuck. It was super, super fucking boring. I seen the trailer for the next half. Hopefully it picks the fuck up, but it don't look like it to me. It looked like it's still about to be boring. And to me, that has little to do with Ebony. And just the fact that I feel like nobody really got a whole lot going on. So it's just coming off really boring to me. How long was this damn review? 13, 14 damn minutes. This is my shortest review of The Real Housewives of New York. This shit was boring as hell, y'all. I'm out. See y'all later. Bye.